Continuing on with my Coco Chanel by Karl Lagerfeld inspired logo. So this is the last place where I left off. I created this pattern in the back. I moved the head on top of the pattern. You can see that I shifted. I actually had to go back in and find my original. So I'm going to click on the original so you can see it is actually in the back. It's the last layer, so you really can't see it. But we don't want that. I'm just going to make it invisible. We don't need that for now. If I need to trace any other piece of that image, I'll show you how to trace it. Maybe I decide that I want to trace the jacket and the tie and turn that into a different color. I can do that. But for now, I'm just going to stick with the silhouette of his head and the pattern. So now what I want to do is add the bold print Chanel name to the logo. But instead of me tracing it out in Adobe Illustrator, it's going to take me all day. I'm going to do a little quick thing. So now I can actually integrate the tools from Photoshop, use Photoshop to help me out, and then bring it back into Adobe Illustrator. So I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. I'm going to open up my Adobe Photoshop application. It's open. I'm going up to File, Open, and I'm actually going to find the file. Let me show you what the file. This is the file here that I'm going to use, but I'll actually go here so you can see it. I saved it in my file, which is this. Now, what I really want is just Chanel. I don't want the CCs yet. Maybe I can use them later. That would be a nice layer to add to the image. But right now, I'm just going to try the name Chanel. So let me click on this. It's asking me to convert it to a normal layer. So I'll click convert to normal layer. So I'm just moving it around so you can see it. You guys are familiar with this. You've been working in Photoshop for a few weeks now in my class and on your own. Some by trial and error. No matter what, it's good. So it would take me all day to try to trace each letter. Too long. So what I'm going to do, let's try the magic wand. So I'm going to click on the magic wand here. Let me shift the screen over just to make sure you can see it. So I'm clicking on the magic wand, and then I'm going to go in and choose my letter. So let's see if the magic wand, great. I'm going to hold down the shift button so I can make sure I select all of the letters. So now I press shift. I'm pressing the H, clicking the A, the N, the E, and the L while holding the shift. I let go of the shift. Now I'm going to copy. So edit, copy merged, and then I'm going to go back into my AI and I'm going to paste it in. Edit, paste in front. I'll paste it in the front. So it gives you options, but I want to try the front so it can be right on top. Let's see what happens. Perfect. So I'm going to go over to my selection tool, make sure that's selected, and I'm going to bring the name down. So you'll notice that because I just pasted on top of everything else, it doesn't have its own layer. I think it's actually pasted inside the head layer. That's where it is. But I don't want it inside the head layer. I want it on it in its own. It doesn't matter. Well, it does. If just in case I want to shift some things around. So what I'm going to do is create new layer. I'm going to name that new layer, which is layer 4. I'm going to name it Bold Chanel. So now I'm going to copy the Chanel, Command C, I'm going to click on Bold Chanel. Make sure bold, this layer is selected. And let's see. And I'm going to paste it in. So now it's there. I'm going to make all of the other layers visible. Now I'm going to go back and click the head layer. I'm going to click on the original Chanel that I pasted into the head layer, and I'm going to delete that. So now it's no longer in the head layer, and I'll show you that it's not in the head layer. I'm going to make everything else invisible. So the head layer, it's by itself. Paisley layer by itself. Bold layer by herself. Bold Chanel. So I'm going to pull that down, and perfect. So let's say I wanted to change the head color back to hot pink or another color. I can actually do that. I'm just going to pull this up off the bottom just a little bit to see what that looks like. Okay, so I want to change the color of the head. I clicked and selected my layer. I just clicked on the image. You can either select it here to make sure it's highlighted or select it here. So what I want to do is go into the fill, and I'm going to try to change the color without a problem. You know, sometimes it gives you issues, but let's see what happens. Let's try this blue. I'm going to click OK, and now it's blue. It looks okay, not my favorite. Let's try another color. I don't know what color I want to use, but these are just options that you can try. So for whatever reason, it didn't turn purple there. Let me try it again. Okay, so now it's purple. It's isolated. That's why you see isolation, and you see this little gray panel here. I'm going to click the arrow to take me out of that isolation mode. So now it's no longer in isolation mode. So I can change it to whatever color. I'm not quite sure yet. I'll play around with it a few more times, maybe on my own. Still, dealing with that blue. Not sure. I'll come back to it. But that was just another quick tutorial to show you how you can take maybe words from or phrases or whatever, take it from Photoshop if it takes you forever to trace and bring it over. But you want to make sure that the quality is high. So I'll try one more thing. Maybe going back to Photoshop. I'm going to deselect because now the Chanel, the name, is still selected. So I want to deselect that. And I want to take the black CCs. Click on the inside of them. Command C for copy. Go back to AI. And now I'm creating a new layer. I'm going to name that layer Black CC. Click on it just to make sure it's selected, and I'm going to place that Black CC logo there. Command V, and there I have it. So you can move it around. I'm going to stretch it out a bit. But what I want to do is I still want to bring my head on the Karl Lagerfeld silhouette on top. I want to arrange that layer. So let's see if it's going to give me an option to arrange the layer from the menu bar. If not, I can click and drag it. For whatever reason, it's not. Let's try to make everything visible. I don't know why it doesn't want to be my friend today, but it's okay. So I'm going to just take the head silhouette, and I'm going to bring it on top of the black CC. Let's see what happens. So, not quite. Maybe if I bring it down a bit. Let me hide the original because I see it in the background. Not quite. Maybe if I stretch this out a bit. But these are just different ways you can modify a logo to make it your own. That looks a little better. Maybe if I make his head a little smaller. You know, just to do your own thing. It's different ways. We'll figure out. But you, for whatever, it's not good to hide that CC. It's iconic. So definitely want to keep the CC. Let's say I want his face on both sides of the CC. That's different. So I'll copy him. And I'll copy him. Command C. Create a new layer. And I'll type in head 2. Select it again just to make sure that it's selected. Click cancel. And here we go. Okay, so I pasted it in Command V. I can actually flip him horizontal. Let's see if I have that option. You know, sometimes, here we go. So I have the option. I'm going to hit transform. And then I'm going to go down to reflect. I want to do horizontal. No, we don't want that. Undo. We'll try vertical. Transform, reflect, vertical. Okay, perfect. So all I have to do is drag it over. And I wanna place it in the place where you can see maybe both images and it's not obstructing the CC. So let's make sure my black CC is selected and I'll scale them down. So let me find my layers. They disappeared on me. So I'm going up to Window, AI, Window, Layers. My layers are back. Going to select this, move my CC around a bit. Maybe I'll make it a little smaller. And you can always, if it's too much going on, you can remember you can always hide the different layers. So I don't know, it's not quite working for me. I don't like the look of it. Not too much, but just to give you an idea of how you can create your own inspired logo from an iconic logo. So I think I want to delete that silhouette some type of way. I'll figure out what I want to do. But these are just options and things that you can do to recreate a logo that works best for you. Maybe I'll move the Chanel up, center it, place him behind the Chanel, or, you know, I just have to figure out what's the right placement. But these are things that you can do. Maybe bring the CC down. Different things I can try to make it work. And if I needed to change the color again to black, Get out of that isolation mode. Maybe I can change the Chanel to another color. Maybe I can turn that blue or whatever color. Let's see if it worked out. Still black. Probably won't fill because I brought it in from the other. I won't spend too much time on making that work for now. But I'll turn this back to a different color. Get out of isolation mode. And just work it out until I can pretty much figure out what I want without taking away from the work that I've done. So continue to work until you're liking. If I hide everything else, let's say I hide everything else, I work on my paisley, I can also change the opacity level a bit. Maybe make that a little softer and then show everything else. Let me come out of there. You know, maybe that'll make a difference. But once again, these are things that you can do to create your own inspired logo.